Hi, it's Ramesha here with Vocal Bliss. Today I would like to talk about some important do's and don'ts for singers. How are you supposed to treat your voice in a way that you're able to keep it healthy for a long time, hopefully your whole lifetime. But before we do this, I would like to invite you to subscribe to my channel. I put out videos on a regular basis, so if you find this helpful, you will probably like to receive notifications when my next one comes out. Okay, so I wanted to touch on these things because as a singer, you have a little bit more awareness probably about your voice, and also you need to treat your voice a little bit differently from the average person, because one thing is to use your voice for speaking, which everybody does, and one thing is to actually treat your voice also as a musical instrument. Think about it. There's no other instrument besides the voice that you use for other things. You pick up a guitar and you just play the guitar. You don't use it to kill flies or whatever. It's just one use. But when it comes to the voice, we use it for a lot of other things. Speaking, we're communicating, we're making sound sometimes. Anyway, you get it. So as singers, if we want our voices to be in good shape and healthy, we need to treat it with a little bit more care than other people. And so here's what I suggest are some of the important things that a singer should always do in terms of how they use their voice. So I'd say number one, warm up your voice before you sing. This is something that becomes more and more relevant and important as you get older, as you will notice, because just like every other muscle in the body, when you get older, the muscles tend to be a little stiffer, and you need a little bit more time to set it in motion and make it pliable and soft and flexible before you're ready to sing. I remember when I was in my 20s, I could run and sprint anytime I wanted, and it didn't bother me. I tried to do that a few years ago without warming up and do some, exercises for stretching my legs, and I got cramps and I couldn't run for a few days. And same thing is with your singing. When I was in my 20s, getting up and singing any given time without warming up, no problem. Now, I'm not even going to try to do it because I know it's going to affect my voice negatively. So that it's not to say that if you're in your 20s, you shouldn't warm up your voice. I suggest you do because you're still helping your voice staying healthy, and you will also keep your voice healthy for a longer time. Remember, what you're experiencing now may not be the same thing in 10 years or 20 years, and so you want to be prepared for that. So that's number one. Suggestion number two is similar but not quite. Do vocal warm-ups and sing as often as you can. There's a dictum among singers, use it or lose it, meaning if you don't regularly engage in vocal activity like warming up, singing, also using the whole range when you sing, and also the whole volume when you sing. So it's not just about humming a song while you're taking a shower, it's about really singing. And again, because the voice is a muscle or a series of muscles, it's important to keep them going and keep them in good shape by using them. So as long as you want to sing, and if you're like me, you're hoping to sing until the very last day of your life, you should keep your voice in good shape by doing warm-ups, singing regularly, performing if you can. But even if it's not performing, just sing for yourself and just use it. Use it, but use it well. If you use it well, it will serve you and it will be there throughout your entire life. Number three, this is something that is good for a lot of other things besides singing, but drink plenty of water throughout the day. Your vocal cords love moisture, love it. One of the best things you can do to keep your vocal cords healthy is drink lots of water. If the environment you live in is very dry, use a humidifier, especially at night, because that prevents your vocal cords from drying and getting all stiff, and it just doesn't feel very good when the vocal cords are dry. Number 4, stop singing if the voice feels tired or fatigued. That sometimes is not possible if you are preparing for a performance and you have been performing and you have to keep performing and the voice may be tired. And then there are other things that you can do, and I will cover these in some later video. But in general, when you feel your voice tired and doesn't respond very well anymore, it's better to stop and take some rest, even a day or two. Maybe do much less on those days. Just do a few simple warm-ups and don't really push your voice, but listen to your voice and just do what is necessary, because when the voice gets really tired and you insist too much, then it gets irritated and then it takes a while to heal. Vocal cords take a long time to heal when they're even a little bit irritated. That's because they don't receive a lot of blood circulation there, and so it's a little bit, it's a delicate instrument and you want to not irritate it so it doesn't, you don't have to stop singing altogether. And number 5, last one for this series of do's: when you cannot sing because your voice is tired, then what you could do, which is actually really helpful, is practice your songs, your music mentally. This is something that's been studied, not just for music, not just for singing, but also for athletes. Going through the motions basically of what you're supposed to do mentally will also help a great deal in terms of preparing. If you're preparing for a gig, for a concert, and you have songs to learn, to memorize, do it mentally. Go through your songs mentally, and that will also help you. Okay, so now I'm going to cover a few don'ts, a few things that I've noticed in my own experience are just not good for the voice. So number 1, you've probably figured it out yourselves, but try to avoid as much as you can noisy environments. Why? Because when you're in a noisy environment, what happens? You want to talk to your friends and you tend to yell all the time. And you push your voice in order to speak loud, and unless you know really well the technique of how you speak loudly without making your voice tired, your voice will probably get tired. And so that's just something that if you can avoid would be better, most especially if you are a few days from a concert or a performance when you have to really sing and you want your voice to feel really fresh and vibrant as opposed to already tired from the very beginning. So this is something I suggest you avoid. Number 2, avoid laughing too loud. You know how sometimes when we're with friends, we just tell jokes and we're really being goofy and we really laugh. And I don't know if you notice, but afterwards, your voice can feel it a little bit. So I know sometimes it's hard to restrain yourselves because you're having a lot of fun, and it's fine. But try to be mindful of the voice. Like I said in the beginning, we have to take special care of this instrument in a way that other people don't even think about because it's just part of life. But we have to really take special care. So there are some things that is good to avoid, and this is one of them. Number 3, don't push your voice when you feel that it's not responding the way you want it to. As singers, we're used to our voice to doing certain things for us, and we kind of count on it. But as you noticed, there are days when the voice just doesn't respond the same way. For whatever reason, it could be maybe we didn't sleep enough, or there's a lot of possible reasons, and some of them are physical, some are more emotional, because the voice is linked to both of these. And but don't drive your voice with, too much willpower. Accept what it can do And if it's less than you expected, then treat it gently. Maybe do a few extra warm-ups. Maybe you can massage your throat a little bit and loosen up some muscles there. But don't get into the habit of, no, you're gonna do what I want, because otherwise probably the voice will respond by getting tired and even more tense, and in the long run you're not gonna win this battle. So it's better to pull back a little bit and be gentle and allow it to go back to normal in its own time. And lastly, this might seem a little odd to some of you, but avoid or get out of the habit, if you have it, of clearing your throat too often. Doing this. Clearing your throat actually is bad for your vocal cords, because it makes your vocal cords rub against each other when you do that. So people who have the habit of doing that a lot actually end up irritating the vocal cords, which creates more phlegm, which makes you want to clear up your throat even more. So it's kind of a catch-22, and you never really get out of it. So much better in these cases would be to cough, actually give a little bit of you cough the stuff away, and that is actually a lot better for your vocal cords rather than clearing the throat, like I said. So these are just a few things that I noticed in my experience and the experience of fellow singers and students that are helpful. There are a lot others that I can come up with, and I'm sure you can come up with as well. But I just felt that these could be a good start to just things that you can start thinking about if you aren't already, and realizing, like I said, that as singers you need to pay special attention to your instrument if you want it to last for a long time, which I really wish you to be able to do this. So thank you so much for watching, and once again, if you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up, consider subscribing to my channel, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.